So have you ever been at a show, you're on the turntables, you doing your thing, you're rocking it, and somebody comes up to the DJ booth and they say, hey, where did you get that record? I've never heard that record. I've never seen that record. I didn't know that record was on vinyl. Where did you actually get that? Seems to happen to me pretty often. And that's what we're going to talk about. Records that you don't normally see on the regular. Today we're going to talk about the Pharcyde. I pulled out some Pharcyde records that I'd like to share with you. Records that maybe, quite possibly, you've never seen before or you don't see often. Some of you hardcore heavy diggers, it might not be a surprise to you to see some of this stuff. But I know for a lot of you, this is going to be something new. So let's just get right into it. I was going through some Pharcyde records, one of my favorite groups, and I just thought I'd pull out some cool stuff to show you. So let's get right into it. Now, the first couple I want to show you, I would think are a little bit more obvious. Maybe 50-50. You've seen these or you haven't seen them. Let's find out. First one, Bizarre Ride to the Pharcyde instrumental album. Now, we all know about the actual album, but did you know this was released on instrumental vinyl? Now, this came out long after the original album, the original release came out, which was 92. This came out in 2003. Just the fact that they have all of the instrumentals for you to do whatever you need to do is crazy. So, with this, you didn't really have to buy 2 copies of everything. So you can have the instrumental and you can have the vocal. With this, you can play whatever instrumental, blend it into whatever you're doing, and then just bring the vocals in behind it. 2 records, 2 albums, and you can mix every song with the instrumental. You gotta love that. So I'm sure that there's a few more of you guys that have seen this, but I know there's a lot of you that didn't know that existed. But if there was anything on this list of records I'm going to show you today, I think that this would be the one that you would be most familiar with, possibly. Next up, I'm thinking a lot of you guys knew about this, but maybe you didn't. This is Fat Lip's solo album. His first solo album. When did this come out? I don't even know what year. What does that say? I can't see anymore. 2005? 2005. Did you guys know that Fat Lip had a solo album? Come on. I'm sure some of you did. Some of you might say, no, I had no idea. I really love this album. This album is incredible. I remember I DJ'd for Fat Lip one time, and we were talking about this album, and he was saying, man, this album is whack. And I was like, man, you crazy. This album is incredible. This is an incredible album. Delicious vinyl. He's got, you remember What's Up, Fat Lip is on here. But my jam on here, let me see if I can find it, because the writing is so crazy. I can't half read. I just want to make sure I get the title right for you. Here we go. Freaky Pumpin'. No, that's not it. What am I talking about? Where is it? Come on, where is that? Is that it? No, that can't be it. You know what? I'm thinking of a different album. I love this album. I absolutely love it. As you can see, he signed it for me right there. I'm a huge Fat Lip fan. Well, I'm a huge Pharcyde fan, just in general. But this is a great album. Are you guys familiar with this? I wanted to pull this out because what I really wanted to show you is his latest solo album, Torpor. I hope I'm saying that correctly. This came out within the last year. Well, 2022. So it's been a couple years now. So have you seen this? Now I did make another video that where I spoke exclusively about this record. So I'm not gonna get super deep into it. I just know that this was like limited to 100 copies, if I'm not mistaken. And of course, you know, I had to jump on that. So I really wanted to show you this one, but I had to show you the Loneliest Punk album to see if you was up on that. I'm guessing some of you guys have never seen either or. For the vinyl heads, I would, you know, you might want to look for that. It's probably sold out. Like I said, it was only 100 copies. It might have been 200. I know it wasn't a big pressing at all. Not unless they reissued it. But I'm not sure. Next up, this is Pharcyde, the front line. This is a 12-inch. My copy is actually an import, a German import. I'm not sure where I picked this up at. But I've never seen another copy other than the one that I found. And I don't remember where I found it. This, of course, you know, you can see from the picture that this is when they were down to just the two members, Imani and Booty Brown. But I love this record. Have you guys seen this before? Like, be honest. Because I don't see this record at all. Like, very much at all. And I think this was 99. 2000. This was released in 2000. Not sure what album that came off of, or if it even came off of an album. Now, I want to tell you about a good buddy of mine. He goes by the name of Space Boy Boogie X. He's a record dealer, record collector, shop owner, owns a really cool record store in the LA area called Jungle Records. Am I saying that right? Record Jungle. Record Jungle. He is, without a doubt, my favorite record dealer in the whole world. The reason why I say that is this guy, the first time I got to visit his store many years ago, I told him everything that I liked, everything that I was digging for, everything that I was looking for. He never, ever forgot what I said. And I would get up to LA about maybe every 3 months. And whenever I would go in his store, he always remembered what I was looking for. And he pointed me in the right direction, or he'd have a bunch of stuff already, and he'd be like, do you have this one? Do you have this? You ever heard of this? You ever heard of this? He put me up on so much stuff that I'd never seen and never heard of. Just some of the most incredible, obscure records. This guy, you gotta go see him if you're in the LA area. I think he's in like Mana something, you know, right outside of LA somewhere, something like that. His store is incredible. Go in there, go on Record Jungle, tell him Daryl D sent you. But in addition to all of that stuff that I just described about him, he is also an excellent producer, a music producer. And he worked with the Pharcyde extensively over the years. I want to show you one of the records that he did with him. This is a 12-inch called Scammin'. And on the B side is a song called Babysit. And this is like his label, or his his representation, soul unit. If you ever see a record with that on there, with Soul Unit on there, you know that that's a Space Boy Boogie X produced record. Have you guys ever seen this? I'm betting no. Not unless you're a hardcore Pharcyde fan like Daryl D is. But I just don't see these. I definitely picked this up somewhere in LA, may have gotten this directly from him because I usually pick up, whenever I see his releases, I usually pick them up. Um, and we'll get back to some more Space Boy records in a second. Here is, let's look at, yeah, let me show you this one. This is, I think this was 1999. This is Pharcyde Testing the Waters EP. So they put out like a 5-song EP back in 99. I'm going to show you. This is just what mine says. I'm thinking I definitely found this in LA. There's a number of different releases of this. When I bought this, I had never even heard of it because I didn't buy it in 99. I bought this probably in the mid-2000s sometime. And check it out. Mine has this translucent. It looks like it's somewhere in between orange and red. But I know they released a number of different versions of this, and I'm thinking 4 or 5 versions were on some type of translucent colored vinyl. I think there was a green one and a blue one and a clear one or something. So there's a few variations of it, and it's pretty reasonably priced. I don't remember how much I paid for it, but I know that they're not too expensive. So if you're looking for this, you should be able to find it for pretty cheap. But you'll probably have to find it online because I've never seen this in a record store ever, except when I bought it. And I'm pretty sure I got it at Record Jungle in LA. So yeah, this is Testing the Waters. 5 songs on there. I don't even remember when the last time I listened to that. Let's look at some solo stuff from the different members of Pharcyde. So here is a record called Joe's Turkey by Fat Lip, released on Delicious Vinyl. In fact, that's the B-side. The A-side is a song called Today's Your Day featuring Charlie Tuna. And if you look real closely there, you see that Amoeba price tag on there. So I got that for $4. And there's 2 copies in there, as I'm sure you might have figured out, because they're marked. So I can get busy with my doubles on there. This was at the old Amoeba, the Amoeba I miss, in LA. As a lot of you know, Amoeba, they changed locations for whatever reason. They're a shell of what they used to be. Man, they had one of the illest dollar sections I've ever seen. They used to have a 50-cent section, and I'm not talking about a little section consisting of a few crates worth of records. I'm talking about thousands and thousands of 50-cent records, thousands and thousands of $1 records, thousands of $1.99 records, thousands of $3.99 records, and then your regularly priced stuff, new and used. Man, that was many years ago. Those days are long gone. Those cheap records are non-existent. Like I said, they're on Hollywood Boulevard now in a lot smaller building. It's just not what it used to be. So as far as I'm concerned, with all due respect, R.I.P. to Amoeba Records. They're, it's like a tourist place now. Anyway, this is where I found 2 copies of this. So many great memories from that store. I don't think I've ever walked out of there without spending a minimum of $100. Same thing as Record Jungle. I don't think I've ever spent less than $100 every last single time I've ever been in there. Speaking of Record Jungle, Space Boy Boogie X, let's look at some more of his produced music. Here's one from Imani from the Pharcyde. Woman. Soul Unit Records, just like I showed you. And with these, he did a lot of records that had this style of art on it. So you can kind of, they have a signature look to them. I got this one from Amoeba as well. That one was $2.99. And all of the records he did with this style, he put them on colored vinyl. So that one is a really cool, soft, light blue on there. And is there a B-side song? There's a song. The B-side is called Bay. Bay? Ooh. I can't see worth nothing these days. But this is cool. Very, very artsy, in my opinion. So that's Imani, and then here's another one from Booty Brown. Same style. You know, Soul Unit Records. This song is called Have You Ever? Have You Ever? B-side is Design Deception, featuring D from Shy. Once again produced by Space Boy Boogie X, the homie. Let's see what color this is. Another soft blue. Excellent record. Now let's go over to my man Slim Kid Trey. Here you have it right there. That's the homie. I ran into him at the that was the Pharcyde reunion of sorts, because you know Fat Lip left or was kicked out or whatever, then Trey left, and then Fat Lip, Trey, I can't, and their two original producers, they all toured together, and they were called The Bizarre Ride. That's what they were called. So they were all touring together. So I got to take this and have Slim Kid sign it for me. The side A is a, what is this called? Aquaman? This is a weird, that's a weird, how do you pronounce that? I don't know. Let me not butcher that. The B-side is called Roots, Love, and Culture, featuring MC Light. If you ever met these guys, you know all of them are mad cool. And Trey was very, very flattered when I pulled this out. He was like, man, this is why I do what I do. This is how you know your fans really appreciate your work. And yeah, it's always a pleasure running into them guys and meeting them. Now, let me show you this really cool posse cut. This is called the Mighty Mighty Pythons. This was a collaboration 12-inch, 3-song 12-inch, and it was a mixture of the Pharcyde and the Souls of Mischief. And who signed that? Whose signature is that? I believe that, I don't know whose signature that is. But I did get one signature. Now, the thing about this record right here, let me go back to the Plain Rap album that I showed you earlier. This record, these were the types of records that Pharcyde would bring to their shows. They go on tour or whatever, and they would sell these at their merch booth. So you saw these more at live shows than you saw actually in the record store. This one is similar to that. Pharcyde did a free show at college here, ASU, many years. This was like 2003, 2004, somewhere in there. And man, there were thousands of people out there. Thousands of people out there. And this was one of the items that they were selling at their merch booth. Now the songs on here is Amp, Curb Your Nerve, and Contact. My jam on this record is Curb Your Nerve. It is a solo song from A Plus from the Souls of Mischief. It is my favorite. If you have not heard that, look that up. The Mighty Mighty Pythons, Curb Your Nerve. But let's stick to the Pharcyde stuff. This is a nice little collaboration. Did you guys know that? Did you know that the Pharcyde and the Souls of Mischief actually did a project together? I don't know. I've never heard anybody else play this record. I don't know anybody else who even owns this record. But Daryl D does. And I'm sure they sold a number of these at their shows. So there's people out there with them. But I'm guessing that the average person, the average vinyl guy, probably doesn't know about it. And if you don't mess with vinyl, I bet you definitely have never seen this before. Am I right? Leave me a comment. Tell me what you think. Okay? So, that's it, man. That's what I have for my Pharcyde collection of records that maybe you haven't seen before, or maybe you don't see them often. I like doing this. I like sharing my collection with people like that. And I'm very interested in some of the not so common pieces that you have in your collection. Let me know what some of those are, if you will. All right? That's all I got for you right now. This is Daryl D, Daryl D TV. Thank you guys for joining me. Until next time, please stay safe. Peace and love.